The letter to the Hebrews that we heard from this morning reminds us that in Jesus, we have someone who sympathizes with us, someone who truly understands us, not just looking at us from afar, but really knowing the experience of our lives. Hearing this takes me back many years in time to those difficult days of adolescence, when as a teenager, struggling to figure things out, I would have a conversation with my mother or my father, and they would remind me, "You're not the first teenager in this family." They themselves had gone through adolescence. I'm the fourth of 5 children, so my older brother and my older 2 sisters, I watched them go through adolescence. My parents would remind me, as would my siblings, that they could sympathize with me. They understood what I was experiencing in life, and they wanted to be companions with me on the journey forward. What a gift for us when we recognize that both Jesus and all God's people are one with us in this sympathy, this love for one another. The world will say to us, embrace your uniqueness, own your own story, and go your own way. But Jesus teaches us something quite different. Rather than just embracing our own uniqueness, we're called to find common ground with one another. Rather than being self-serving and focusing on our own stories, we are invited to share the story of those around us. Rather than go our own way, we're called to follow a path of communion that makes us one with God and one with neighbor. In our Mass this morning, we have a beautiful example of this in our liturgy, how we come to table together, not as strangers, but as friends, sympathetic to one another. We pray this day that this Eucharist may nourish us and assist us so that what we experience at this banquet of the Mass, we then may bring forth into our lives this week, inviting others to this banquet, to this moment in which they can find in Jesus that sympathetic friend, and they can find in us ears willing to listen, hearts willing to love.